Hi everyone, my name's Andy Robertshaw. Today I'm going to be solving Daily Killer Sudoku puzzle 29716. That's 29716. So somebody from the Daily Killer Sudoku group on Facebook has requested a walk through this one. So that's what I'm going to do now. Today is the 1st of August 2025, but the puzzle dates back a few weeks ago. But let's get stuck into this. So usual thing to start with, where have we got just two options? So a 14 cage could be 5, 9 or 6, 8. A 6 cage could be 1, 5 or 2, 4. 6 plus 24 is 30, so those two have to be 15 to make it up to the 45. So 6, 9 or 7, 8. Right, well what's nice about this pattern is we've got two complete rows there. Sorry, two complete columns, I should say. Well, of the 7s, I've got 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. I will be using two of those options between those two cages. Right, so what else is interesting? Right, let's look for some three-way options. So 12 is 3, 9, 4, 8 or 5, 7. So I've got 37 there. So those two must be 8. 1, 7, 2, 6 or 3, 5. I've got a 24 cage there, so that's got to be 7, 8, 9. 7 cage, 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. 12 cage, 3, 9, 4, 8 or 5, 7. Right. So what else can we... What have we got on this column? So 23, 12, 6, that's 41. So these two are 4 more than that one. I don't know how interesting that's going to be, but I'll say it as I see it. In fact, what is also interesting, those two cells cannot be 7, 8 or 9. So there must also be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. But I've got a total of 7 here, a total of 7 here. The unused total of 7 must be those two. So that's a 16 cage. Must have a 9 there. So that 12 cage isn't 3 and 9. And also this one isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. It's 7, 8 or 9. So couple with the 8 there, 15, 16, 17. So also 15, 16, 17 there. Okay, so not that interesting yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's put those in. But not a 1 in the 11 cage. So let's put the potential partners. 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 can partner that to add up to 11. I'll do the 9 cage as well. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I've also got 5 or 8 in that 14 cage and 5 or 8 in that one. So 1 of 5 or 8 there and 1 of 5 or 8 there. So 5 must be in one or other of those. So 5 isn't going to be in that column of that box. In the 17 cage of size 3, I can't have a 1. I'd have to have 7 and 9 with it. But I'd have to have 1 of 7 or 9 there, which I don't have. In fact, I've got to have a 6 of one of those, haven't I? Because 3 plus 4 is 7. I'd need 10 to go with it. So I've got to have a 6 there. That is interesting. So no 6 there. No 6 in the 14 cage. That's 5, 9. No 5 in the 12 cage, so that makes that one 4 and 8. Let's get rid of 6s from that one. So no 3 there, no 5 there, no 1 there. So 4 and 8 means no 4 there. So that 7 isn't 3, 4. These two that make 7 are not 4 and 3 that way round. And with no 5 there, this 7 cage isn't 5, 2. That's not 5. That's not the 2 that would have gone with it. So, I can also eliminate 4 then from this one. I know the 4 is going to be one of those. But what does that leave me with? I've got 6 there, so 1, 2, 3, 7. But I have to have a 7 there. I can't have a 1 with a 7 because I need another 7 to make up the 15. So that's got to be the 1 in that box. So no 1 there, no 8 there, no 1 there, no 6 there. So 7 with 2 or 3 would give me 5 or 6 there. I've got 5 or 6 there. So I can't have 5 or 6 there, or the 1 or 2 that would have gone with it in that one. So, in fact, the 5 has to be one of those, so that's not a 5, that's a 6. So 15, 6 with 2 and 7, so no 2 there, no 3 there, so no 6, no 8, no 4. So 3 plus 6 is 9. I want an 8 there to make that 17 up with it. So I also know the set of numbers that go in this 19 cage. 1, 3, 7, 8. But not 8 there. Okay, so in fact, no 6 there. That's 2 and 5. That's a 7. That's a 2. That's not a 7. Yeah, so 4 and 6 between those. 4 and 6 between those, either way, that's fine. So, what else can we see? Not a 2 there, not a 4 there that would have gone with it. I've got a 10 cage there of size 4, so that's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, I think I got some momentum there, and I'm just a bit slowing down a bit now, shall we say? But we will get through this. So what have we got here? We got 38 less 1. That's 37. So that is interesting. I know that those two add up to 15. But that set of cells adds up to 37. So they are 8 more than those. So, but I've got an 8 there already. So I need a pair there that add up to 15 to go with an 8. That'd have to be 6 and 9. So that's a 3 and that's a 6. And I need a total that adds up to 11 there. So I've got 2 lots of 11. One there, one there. but not a 1 there. So the 1's got to be there, and 2 numbers that add up to 10 to go with it. So that's 1, 7 and 3. So not a 1 there, not a 5 there, and not a 7 there, not an 8 there for making it up to 15. And this 15 is 4, 5, 6. So that's very powerful now. I can't have 6 and 9 to make up that 15, so I've got 7 and 8. So that's 4 and 8 that way round. Can't have a 5 there, so 5 and 9 that way round. So that's a 2, that's a 4. So must have a 9 there, and 1 and 5 between those, and something's gone wrong. Right, well, let's go back. I'll tell you what I've done wrong. I've done 4, 5, 6 here. That was a mistake. They should add up to 11, not 15. They should be 2, 4, 5. So let's carry on. So no 4 there, no 5 there. So a lot of the consequences are still the same. So no 5 there, no 1 there. So I've got 1 and 5 between those two. Not got a 6 there. I've got 8 or 9 there. So not a 9 there. I've got 3, 6 and 7 between those. So no 4 there. So take out the 4 and 8. Yeah, not quite as good as it was, I thought at first, but it's still pretty good, I'd say. Okay, so what else do we see? So 32. In fact, that's something interesting. So this one is the same as this one. In this 32 cage, I've got 25 and 12. That's 37. So those two are 8. Those 4 are 24. But this being the same as this, I know that those 4 are 24 between them. Plus 15, that's 39. So this plus this is 6. So I can't have a 3 there, but I could have 2, 4 or 5 to make that up to 6. Okay, so what's next? Right, so still thinking a bit now. So not an 8 there, and not an 8 there, because that one's the same as that one. Yeah, so... Alright, so, oops. I've got a 1 or 4 there, a 1 or 4 there. So I can't have any 1s or 4s in the bottom row of this box. So in fact, my 4 must be one of those two in that box. So not a 4 there. My 4 must be one of those two in this box. But I don't know which. Okay, I'll say now, I know some people like to put candidates in possibilities of where a number could go. So I know some people like to put a 4 in there, like to in fact, it could be that one as well. Some people do that to show that it's the possible place that a 4 could go in the box. I'm refraining from doing this. When I solve these, I do it in such a way that for each cell I populate every number that could go in it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it the other way. Let's just be clear on what we are doing, especially if there are other people that we're explaining to. Okay, so I've got a 3 as one of those. I can't have a 3 there. In fact, I've got 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4 there. I've got either a 2 or a 4 there. So that's interesting. That's more interesting than it first looks. So my 1 and my 3 must both be there. That's not a 1. Remember, this plus this was 6. So I'll go through that being 6 once again. So 32 there, but this was the same as this. So 32 between those and 8 of it there. So 24 between those plus 15 is 39, leaving 6 for these two. So they are 2 and 4 between them. So that means I couldn't have a 4 there. So that's 6 and 1. So they're 3 and 4 between them. 1, 7, 8 and 3 there. So what have we got then? That should be helpful. 15 here, without using 2 or 4, it could be 1, 5, 9, 1, 6, 8, or 3, 5, 7. In fact, I've got every number in there that isn't a 2 or a 4, so that's maybe a bit pointless, but anyway. Yeah, let's see, so... but not an 8 there. Right, okay, we've got an 8 in the column already. Let's fill this 11 in now. So not 3, 8, so 2, 9, 4, 7 or 5, 6. Got a 1 there, so I don't have a 1 in that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 all spoken for in this row. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all that anything else could be. Yeah. Right, so what else do we have? What can I have here? I've got 1, 2, 4, 6, so 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Again, this is more interesting than it might first appear. So I've got, of 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, I've got 4 of them there. So this total of 8 can only use one of 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. It cannot use both the 3 and the 5. So 1 and 7 or 2 and 6, but then I got a 6 or 7 there. So anywhere else in the column cannot have 6 or 7. And having eliminated 6 and 7 here on the 11 cage, I can eliminate 4 and 5 from the partner cell of that. Right, okay, so, yeah. I couldn't have a 1 there, because I eliminate 1 from every possible square in that box. So not a 1 there, not the 7 that would have gone with it. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Well, 20 minutes in now. I think we're making reasonable progress with this. Yeah. Let's look at, just a bit random, but let's look at that total. I've not got I have got 68 there, so I must have 23 there and 22 between those four. Yeah, I don't know how interesting that is. I'm looking for a symmetry. I can't see a direct symmetry, another set of boxes equivalent to that one. In fact, what happens if I have a 7 there? Must have 2 and 6 there. That's 7 plus 2 plus 6 is 15. So we've got 17 between the three of those without using 2, 6 or 7. So I can't have a 1. I'd need 7 and 9. I could have 3, 5, 9. Or 4, 5, 8. 3, 5, 9 or 4, 5, 8. Which means that the 5 wouldn't be in that 15 cage. In fact, that is interesting. So 7 there, give me 2 and 6 there for 15. So 17 more there without using 2, 6 or 7. Can't have a 1 because I'd need 1, 7, 9. I've already got a 7. Can't have a 2. So 3 would have to go with 5 and 9 because I've got a 6 there. Or 4 would have to go with 5 and 8. But I would in any case need a 5 there. So I couldn't have a 5 in the 15 cage. But if I've got 7 here, I also need 7 here. So right, sorry, just bear with me a second. 3, 5, 3, 5, 9 or 4, 5, 8. If I had a 9 in the 15 cage, I would need the 5 with it. So I couldn't have the 9 in the 15 cage. So 7 there would give me 3, 5, 9 here. So 7 with 3, 5, 9. Or if I got 9, I'd have 9 there. I couldn't have a 9 in that 15 cage. So once again, 7 there will give me 3, 5, 9 there, and no 9 there. 9 there will give me 9 there straight away, so no 9 in the 15 cage. Right, okay, but if I got 9, what happens? I'd have 9 there. I'll still have a total of 8. I'm not sure which total of 8 I'd have. But I would want a total of 15 there. In fact, I couldn't have a 5 in that. I could have 3, 5, 7, couldn't I? Yeah, so I could have... Right, okay, so 9 there, 9 there. Total of 15 there. Without using 9... right, there are options. Okay, so... I know I've got a 9 anyway in that 32 cage. Must have 7 or 8 in the 15 cage. So 8 with 1 6 or 7 with 3 5. 8 1 6 or 7 3 5. Right, I'm just trying to think how interesting either of those options are. If I've got 7 3 5, I've got 2 and 4. Yes, I do have a problem that 7 3 5. I've got 2 and 4. So I've got a 6 there. And I've got nowhere in this box to put a 6. So 7 3 5 is not possible. 7 3 5, 2 4, 6, and nowhere in this box to put a 6. So I can't have 7 3 5. I must have 8 1 6 for my total of 15. So not an 8 there. So that one's an 8. So no 8s on the bottom row of this box. So what can I have here? The other one of 7 9 that isn't there, and a 3 and a 5 to go with it, which means no 5 there, so that's 2 5, and no 3 there, that's 4 3. So 5 and 3 not there, 7 and 9 not there. Okay, so I've got a 7 9 pair there, so that's not a 7, and that's not a 1, so these are 2 and 6. So no 6 there, that's a 7. So ages ago, we established these two added up to 15. I've got 30 there, so those two are 15 to make it up to 45. 7 and 8. No 7 there, no 8 there, so that's a 9. No 9 there. Right, okay, no 2 there, because I've got 2 and 6. So no 2s in either of those. No 9 in that one. Yeah, right. Okay, so in fact 1 6 8, I can't have a 6 there, so 2 and 6 that way round. 3 5 7 9, so 1 and 8 between those two. I've got a 3 5 7 9 quad there, so that's a 4. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So what can I still have in this column? 1 3 4 5 9. Right, yes. Oh, okay, so yeah, so I'm still thinking. Feel that this is going pretty well, but there's still quite a bit yet to do. So what's my total here? 9 11 7 is 27, but I've got 11 there, so I've got 16 between those. 4 7 5, 4 9 3, 5 9 2, 7 6 3. Quite a few options. So total of 16. I do need a 7 or a 9 to make my 16. Excuse me. I've got a 7 or a 9 there. 7 or 9 there, 7 or 9 there. So no 7 or 9 there. No 7 there. Right, we've got to grab these little bits whenever we can. They do all help. All right. Yeah, just looking what else is available. So I've been here before. 68, which is 45 plus 23. So that lot is 23, and that lot is 22. Right. Yeah, struggling to see anything there. Right. Okay, I thought I'd seen something, but it wasn't there, so I won't bother talking about it. Yeah, alright, so 2s and 4. Oh, right. Right. What happens if I put a 1 there? I need 6, 8, and 9. So I need 6 there and 8 and 9 to go with the 1. So 1, 6, 8, 9. Can't see anything wrong with that. So no deadly pattern here because the cages are constraining the 2 and the 4. So that wouldn't count as a deadly pattern. That's a total of 16. In fact, I've got limited options here. So 23 plus 12 plus 6 is 41. So that is 4 less than some of these 2. So 1 and 3 I couldn't have, but 1, 6, and I couldn't have... 1 plus 6 is 7 and 4 less than that is 3. I couldn't do that, so I can't have a 1 there. So I've got 8 and 1 there, not a 1 there. So that's 5 and 1 that way round, not a 1 there. So my 1 in this 10 cage has to be this one. So not a 1 there, not a 1 there. Okay, let's get back to this. So 41 plus 8 is 49. So that's now 4 more than this one. But it can't be 4 more than 6, so it's got to be 4 more than 3. So 3 and 7, and that's a 6. So with 3 there, that 12 is 5 and 7. So that's a 3, and that's a 9. 7, 9, 7, and 3, 5, 9. So not 7 there, not 2 there. So that one's 4 and 5. 3, 2, 4, 2. So not 4, not 2. So not a 5 there, not a 5 there. Okay, so we are getting closer. Not a 7 there. I've got one in the column in the box as well. So 6, 8, and I think I've done something silly again here. So I've got 41. No, I haven't. That's an 8 there. So I want 1 and 9 between those two. So let's rule them out of those. And the 2 that would have gone with the 9. So that is an 8. So not 8 there. So 1, 2, 3, 6. That's 7 and 8. I've got a 7 there, so that 11 is 5 and 6, and that's a 4. So that's 12, so I want 9 and 3 to make that up to 24. So 6 there. So not 6 and 5. Not a 3 there. So that 7 is 2 and 5. Not an 8 there. So 1, 7 or 9 for that one. Not 1. 7 or 9 for that one. I've got a 7, 9 pair there, so that's an 8. 7, 1 and 8. So that's 9, 1 and 7 there. 9, 2, 5, 2, 4, 5. What's that one then? 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. So that's a 5, a 2, a 4. I've got a 5 in that column, so that's a 3. I've got a 9 in that column, so 5 and 9 that way round. I've got 6 in that column, 8, 1, 6. I've got a 3 there, so 7 and 3 and 1 that way round, and that's it. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.